Oh boy, where to begin with this one? Okay, so I've told you before that I like family friendly movies. I like movies with a lot of fantasy, a lot of imagination. So when I logged onto Netflix and saw the trailer for Slumberland, um, first of all, I didn't catch on until 10 minutes into the movie that with the main character being named Nemo, and um, I sort of caught on when in her first dream when or not her first dream, but the dream where the her bed grows legs and starts walking out into the streets, and when when guy this horned guy she meets calls himself Flip. I know I'm jumping way ahead, but hear me out. It wasn't until then that I realized, wait a minute, this is Little Nemo in Slumberland. Like, duh. And I'm of course talking about, of course, but I'm talking about the animated one from the 90s, where Nemo is a boy and Flip is this clown like character, and yeah, but I didn't immediately put that together. Not even from the hit banner when you select the movie where this girl Nemo is shown sitting in her bed in the ocean with the sun going down, which is also a very iconic scene from the animated picture. But anyway, I like these movies with a lot of imagination, and I mean, this is about a girl going into dreamland. The possibilities are literally endless. Um, but for one thing, they really don't explore the idea of dreams all that much, not as much as they could have. Um, the dream worlds she travels through are very basic, but I also, and forgive me for saying that, I know we are talking about a girl who, spoiler alert, a girl who early on, and this is like 5 minutes into the movie, loses her father at sea, because she and her father, they are living on this remote island where he is a lighthouse keeper, and he has to every now and then go out by boat with his crew to do stuff. I didn't really catch that, but one day one night she has a nightmare where um, shit goes foobar. There is a storm. She falls into the ocean. She finds her father, who's like, "Ugh," and then this black, smoky nightmare octopus comes and takes him away. And then she wakes up, and the boat he was out with comes back without him, and they are like, "I'm sorry, Nemo. Your father was lost." Um, which of course puts her into a great depression. Her uncle, who is also very secluded, but in his own way, like he has this big apartment, very very fancy. And at first I thought he was gonna be this snobby uncle who is like, you can't touch that, you can't touch that, and by the way, I hate you. But not at all. He actually again he actually um, is shown to be very. I mean, even though he has no idea how to raise kids, how to talk to them, and what to do with them. Should I play with her? Should I teach her stuff or whatever? But he tries. He genuinely comes off as a character who is caring, but has no idea how to be caring. Like, he literally looks up on Google how to raise kids, and at one point he's trying to find something to do, how to entertain her, and she's like, "You're looking on your phone, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yes, I am. Sorry." Again, I know I'm jumping way ahead. That's how my mind works. I try to explain the story, and then another train of thought comes to mind, and then I wanna get that off my chest first. But she stays with him because he's her only relative apparently, and he really tries to bond with her and make her comfortable. But and in a kind of poetic way, or poetic, I don't know, he is isolated from the world in his own way, because again, Nemo and her father lived on this island where they were isolated from the world, and he lives in this apartment where his only hobby is doorknobs, and is very isolated, and Nemo even calls him out on that quite a couple times, like, "You have no friends, your only hobby is doorknobs, no one cares about doorknobs." And I really didn't like her character. Like, again, I understand that we are dealing with a girl who just lost her father, and then she enters the dream world where this guy Flip tells her of these magic pearls that can grant any wish, and so not only does she then get obsessed with finding these pearls through an old map that her father had hidden, but she also, like, that's the only thing that matters to her now, and she's willing to lie to people, and generally just being really selfish about it, pushes her new classmates away, even though they are trying to get to know her, like this really nerdy guy who is like, I'm a member of this club, this club, this club, this club. Hey, do you want to go fishing? Stuff like that. Or, hey, do you want to sit with me and my mates while doing homework? And she's like, nah, I have to. And again, I understand that. I understand where she's coming from, but again, the way she is, and when she also pushes her uncle away, like, uh, I don't care about doorknobs. No one cares about doorknobs. It's a lazy hobby, not lazy. It's a boring hobby you've got here. Like, I was sitting there, I was sitting there watching the movie and being like, girl, he is trying his best here. I know you are both having a difficult time, because later in the moment where you think they are bonding, it turns out that although these two brothers were estranged, he never he was never able to let go of his brother. Like, he misses him just as much as the girl does. And then in a later scene, again, the two nag at each other, because it's Nemo has been found out to have lied to both her school and her uncle, and then she again goes, you don't care about me, you are so selfish," and the uncle understandably goes, "I am selfish. I feed you. I entertain you. I genuinely try to bond with you and get to know you." And I was like, "Yeah, dude. He's trying. You are not. All you care about is your dream world, and again, because the movie deals with loss, and when you have lost something, you retract, and Nemo retracts to this to the dream world, where anything can happen. So of course she would want to be there, because, oh, reality is scary, people die, I lose people I care about. So again, I can see where she's coming from, but I still I can't force myself to like a character I don't like, which also you know, of course, again, spoiler alert. Of course, she ends up finding these magic pearls, and her wish is granted. She gets to see her father again, who then encourages her to tackle reality head on. After which everything is hunky dory again. She has made friends at school, and she is buddy pals with her uncle all of a sudden, which is great. But I didn't feel, while it is a happy ending, and I like happy endings, in no way, shape, or form did I feel that this ending was earned for her. I didn't sit there. Yes, Nemo, I feel so happy for you that you actually accomplished your goal. I didn't feel that she deserved it with all the people she had effectively stomped on in order to achieve her goal. And I know I've rambled on for 10 minutes now about that, but it really is, you know, she's the main character. It's a big part of the movie, so I had to get off of my chest what I thought about her and why because when you see her first for the first time, I don't know if because she's a little girl, but I got the impression that she seems kind of lovable. Um, and then and you know, you can imagine if she didn't lose her father, would she have? Then of course she wouldn't have turned down this path. But I liked her for the first minute that I saw her, and then she just spiraled out of control. But enough about her. Then there are these dream worlds. Like I said, she meets Flip, who is this what did they call him? He is an outlaw. That's the word. Who is hunted by the dream police because he likes to jump between dreams, and he even warns Nemo that if you die in other people's dreams, then you will never wake up. And she's like, I don't care, I just want to find these pearls. But then they of course jump to different people's dreams. There's this lady in a ballroom where the other guests are made up of butterflies. There's this glass city where a little kid is driving a van, and a snowy mountain dream where this Canadian guy is riding giant seagulls. I think it was, and that's all well and good. All of these different dreams, but I don't feel that for one thing, I don't feel that they did enough with them. Like, in an age where, and maybe they had a budget, I don't know, but you can do anything on film nowadays, and these dreams just, they seem so basic, like I said in the beginning, and they go through them multiple times back and forth, because then at one point when they reach their goal, then they have to backtrack through all of the dreams, and it's not in the movie is not done in one single night. Like, Nemo goes in and out of the dream world one time because Flip throws her out of a window in her own dream, which of course wakes her up, and she comes back like, you tried to kill me. Oh nuts, you know that people can't die in their own dreams. Still kind of morbid that, you know, you threw a little girl out of the window. Bastard. But these people that they meet when they go through the other dreams, they have the exact same dream every single night. And I don't just mean the same setting. It's like whenever they go through this series of dreams, the kid who drives the van through the city, he drives the exact same route every single time they meet him. And I mean, you know that and I'm talking reality now, our reality, you never dream the same dream twice. I mean, sure, I have had dreams where I was like, huh, I've seen this before, but how do I know that it's not just a dream telling me that I have dreamed it before? Because based on the dreams I've had where I lose people because funny that's my worst nightmares. My worst nightmares are when I lose people, like if my parents or siblings die or stuff like that, and I wake up and I have cold sweat, like relax, it was just a dream. Like one time I had a dream where one of my friends caught an incurable disease, and the first thing in the morning was that I texted her and said, I know this sounds stupid, but I just had a dream where you died, and I just wanna tell you, while I have the opportunity, because for all anyone knows, you could go out next thing in the morning and get run down. You never know how much time you have on this planet. So I texted her, I know this sounds weird, but I just had a dream where you died, and just want to tell you how much you mean to me. And she was like, sure, it was an out of the blue thing to text, but she was really happy to hear it. Like, thank you. That's how real my dreams are. That when I wake up, I want to tell the people who were affected in my dreams how much I care about them. Also, to put to put my own soul at ease. But I have heard at least, you never dream the same dream twice. So the fact that these are the same three dreams that Nemo goes through back and forth multiple times, you get so sick and tired of watching these same scenarios again and again and again in the exact same way. And also when they, at the end of the movie, when they she has been to the sea of nightmares and has gotten this pearl, and now her and Flip are getting chased by this nightmare tentacle, the one that took her father. And they backtrack through all these dreams, and while they do so, the people that they met, not the dream police. I know I kind of skipped over them, but I'll get to that later. They are not chasing them anymore for reasons I'll get to, but all of these people who didn't have a purpose in the dream up until now, they were kind of just like, oh, there goes a little girl, and oh, there goes a horned guy. Now, where was I? When they backtrack through all of the dreams, these other people go with them because they're like, huh, a little girl running from a giant octopus. I'm coming with you. Take me with you. I don't want to get killed. So then all of a sudden you in this van driven by the little kid, you have all of these characters who are all like, octopus. And then I was like, maybe these people are actually gonna play a role in the movie now, in the third act, too little too late. But no, they are just there for this funny scene where with all these people chased by the same nightmare, and then you just watch as they all wake up, and you see where in the world they live. Like the woman at the dance hall, she's a nun who fell asleep at the church. The Canadian guy lives in a shack with arcade games, and he apparently fell asleep to a football game, soccer, football, real football. And I'm like, we don't know these people. Why would we care who they are in the real world? Because not to say that my list of dream movies is long, but in a movie like Little Nemo in Slumberland, the animated one, he meets people within the dream, other than Flip, that he bonds with and that we bond with. So when he wakes up, like he gets really attached to the princess, I remember, and when they get each other together in the end, but then he wakes up and you are like, oh, I really like that couple. but then he meets the circus princess in the real life, and you are like, maybe that maybe she remembers him from the dream. Or the page master, where the kid, he meets these sentient books and gets to know them. They become really good friends, but you know that once he gets out of this dream world, he's gonna have to say goodbye to them. So not only did I feel it was a complete waste that these other people whose dreams Nemo go through in this movie, that they weren't actually, you know, they didn't become part of the main cast. Like they could have been, so you're looking for these pearls. I wanna help you. And because we see later when they wake up that they have a life that they are kind of bored of. So it would have made all the sense in the world that they hear about the pearls too, and see that she has the map, and so they decide to help her along with Flip. And then maybe when she reaches the pearls, they double cross her and are like, no, I want the pearl, no, I want the pearl, no, I want the pearl. And then something would have happened to make them settle down and be like, we all have things that we want, but none of them involve a father lost at sea. This girl wants to see her father again, and then decide to help her. That would have been really powerful, I think. And then, as the nightmare chases them at the end, you would see how they all try to escape from it, and how they all one by one sacrifice themselves to keep Nemo going. Like they stall the nightmare so that Nemo can get back to her own dream where she is safe. Really give these dream people character, so that we care about them, and so that we are sad when they sacrifice themselves, and we are sad when she eventually has to say goodbye to them when she wakes up. And maybe then in reality she could meet these people again, and we could get a little hint that they still remember her. Again, complete waste of potential. Not only was it, and I didn't need this movie to go deeply philosophical, but for a movie that is about dreams, I didn't feel that the concept of dreams was fleshed out enough. I didn't feel that enough creativity was put into to constantly mix things up and make these dreams varied. Like, okay, so if you have to have Nemo go through the same dreams again, at least make them different every time she goes through. And a complete waste of character, like I just said. Like it's Nemo and Flip from beginning to end, with these three other human dream characters completely wasted. Mixed, like I said, with a main character who, in my opinion, is totally selfish and unlikable, who I didn't root for whatsoever. And then there was the Dream Police that I promised to talk about, because again, Flip is this outlaw jumping from dreams to dreams, and the Dream Police are kind of not happy about that. Like there's this policewoman with a big afro and a saber gun who is like, I have been hunting your ass for so long. When I catch you, I can finally retire, and then you're gonna rot here in the Dreamverse forever and ever. And when she at one point catches Flip and he completely gives up, she lays down the cards for Nemo, saying, "We make your dreams, little one. but we don't give you the dreams that you want. We give you the dreams that we think that we know that you need. And because of course she just took her only friend Flip hostage, so she's not having any of this like again completely unlikable with but I want the dreams that I want and you can't. She doesn't say that, but her face says it all. Like she's not having taking any of this go live your life for God's sake advice. Um, but and they trick her, of course, eventually, and she meets the lady again when she escapes the nightmare and just before she meets her father, where the lady shows up one more time and is like, I told you that we always show you the dreams that you need. Bye bye. Um, like, okay, why were you here again? Um, and that actually also touches upon another issue I have with how lacking the movie is in creativity for a movie called Slumberland, or Drømmeland in Danish, literally means the same thing. That after the Afro woman has arrested Flip, she shows the girl to the dream office that is literally just an office space, like a plain old office space, and she makes this joke that yeah, I apologize that this all looks kind of lame, like an office space taken out of the 70s. The budget all goes to the dreams, so we here in the office, this is what we get. I mean, I don't know about you, but I once had a dream where I visited the very core, the very center of all dreams. Like I had this dream where I visited what they called the dream factory, where I saw how all people's dreams were conceived and created and stuff like that. So instead of having a lame office space, why couldn't they explore this whole dream space so that I know I've already bitched about how the dreams Nemo travel through are so basic and nothing really happens in them aside from pretty visuals, but also why didn't they when she gets to this headquarters place, they could have done so much with that, like having this grand place, like wow, so this is where dreams are made. They could have done so much with it, but they don't. They don't flesh out the world they're in. They don't flesh out the dreams that Nemo travels through. Like I've said a million times, I'm sorry that I repeat myself. um I mean, I'm literally working without a script. I'm just talking. um they don't flesh out the characters of what little there is, and in general it just feels like a movie that sells itself on its pretty visuals and nothing else. It's pretty visuals, and the fact that it does, after everything is said and done, it does have a good message. Like in the beginning of the movie, when the father is still alive, he's like, Nemo, can you tell me what the purpose is of a lighthouse? And she's like, yeah, it's to make sure that ships they dock safely. And he's like, no, that's not it. But when you figure it out, come to me, and then I'll give you the keys to the lighthouse. And then when she meets him again in the dream at the end, he's like, did you figure it out? And she's like, yes, I figured it out. The purpose of a lighthouse is to guide people. And that's another thing. I was like, in nowhere in the movie do we see that she thinks about this question. Like there aren't any hints throughout the movie that this question is brewing in the back of her mind, like, is this what my father meant? So it's literally this seed that is planted at the beginning of the movie, and then we hear nothing about it until the very end, where suddenly she has the answer, which again makes it feel very um, unearned when he then hands her the keys. Like everything in this movie feels unearned. Um, what was another thing I wanted to mention. I don't remember right now, but I do believe that I have said everything that I need to say. Um, it was it was a waste of time, this movie. Like genuinely, acting was all right. I chose to watch it in Danish just because I could. I mean, I do perfectly understand English, but when I watch a family movie like this in Danish, then you know, I'm kind of taken back through time to back when I was a kid, and when sure there were some movies that I did watch in English with subtitles, but many family movies were dubbed in Danish, like Homeward Bound, a movie I absolutely adore, especially the ending. If you've ever seen it, masterpiece of a movie, really tugged on my heartstrings. That's a movie where the ending feels earned. Um, but um, but yeah, this movie was. Oh right, I remembered, and I remember what I was gonna say, and it's not even a big deal, and yet it is, because just like how the question about what is a lighthouse, just like how that was mentioned at the beginning and then not picked back up until the end. Um, the uncle, like I said, his hobby is collecting doorknobs, and one evening when he does one of his many attempts to bond with Nemo, he finds a very old antique lock and shows her how to pick it. And then he's like, "Now you try." And I thought that, okay, we're onto something now. She is gonna pick the lock up and be like, you know, even though she shamed his hobby when she arrived because she was you know, under the weather. She is gonna pick this lock up and try and be like, "Hey, this is actually kind of fun." But then she was like, "I'm a bit locked out." That's actually what she said. "I'm a bit locked out." But then when she rescues Flip from the prison, the dream prison, she does it by picking the lock. And you know, the moment Flip was imprisoned, I looked at this lock and thought, I bet you she's gonna pick it. But first of all, she has only seen her uncle do it. She chose not to try it herself because she was locked out. So she has seen him do it, and I know they say you can do anything in your dreams, so maybe that's why. But for this story to make sense and be coherent, I don't buy that. She saw it, but she's never tried it herself. I don't buy that she can suddenly now pick locks. And even then, when she does pick the lock, she doesn't go. I learned this from my uncle, or knowledge about lock picking and doorknobs can come in handy, or anything like that, to acknowledge that her uncle has helped her without him knowing it, of course. So in that way, also, apart from all of the wasted potential with the world building and this and the story and the characters, then there are also these little seeds, the key and the lock picking that is introduced but never followed up upon until until they are actually used. Like something is missing in the middle. Yeah, that's about it. Now I'm finished. Also, again, talked for a very long time. But I don't know. Other reviews I've watched seem to also be disappointed in not so much the flow of the story, but the lack of creativity in the dreams, and then I felt like throwing my hat into the ring because I had so much more I wanted to talk about than just those. I mean, most reviews I've watched were like 10 minutes long, and now I've rambled on for over half an hour. You can hear I had a lot to get off of my chest. So yeah, I was tempted when I rated the movie on Netflix. I was tempted to give it just one thumbs up, but then I thought back on all the things I felt didn't work, and I was like, no, it doesn't deserve a thumbs up. So thumbs down it became. I know they care deeply about what I, little lonesome me, think about a movie, but that's how I feel. And it's not that it's, of course, I don't enjoy hating a movie. Like, of course I want a movie to be the best that it can be, and as a writer myself, a very unknown writer, I mean, I've written four fantasy novels for kids and teenagers, and literally no one knows about my works, which is why I mean, I write as a passion because I like to write, not because I expect to be the next Harry Potter or whatever. But I make a big deal out of if I introduce a plot point or a concept in my stories, then I make a big deal out of following up on that, which with all of the ideas I have, I mean, I just finished writing the fourth book, which has been sent to the publisher for reviewing, and there was a lot of plot threads to keep track of. But I did it. It was a lot of work, but I did it because I cared about the story. I wanted it to be cohesive. I wanted it to be complete. I wanted it to feel like a complete story had been told with no stone unturned, like that everything I had introduced, I had followed up upon. So it pains me when I watch a movie that has a genuinely great concept and a lot of ideas that could have made the movie great, that it falls flat on its face for a variety of reasons. Again, whether it's lack of character, whether it's lack of lore or story building or whatever. Of course, I want any movie to be the best that it can be. But I don't know what went wrong with this movie. Whether it was just something they had to get out or whatever. But and I won't say it clearly wasn't a passion project, because what do I know about that? Maybe it was just poorly written by a person who genuinely tried their best, but to me at least, it just wasn't there. This wasn't it, Chief. But I hope that the next movie I review for you, I can genuinely say that I like. So, what are your thoughts about the movie? Have you watched it? Did you watch the 90s animated movie? Share your thoughts in the comments below, whether you agree with me or disagree with me or whatever else is on your mind, and I'll talk to you later when I have something else on my mind. Thanks for watching and see ya.